Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well and you've had a good Christmas. I know I have after last year's obviously terrible Christmas. I had surgery 2 weeks before Christmas last year, so I had a really bad time. Didn't enjoy it at all. Couldn't really spend much time with the family and that. So hope you've all had a good time. As you can see, we're already about 10 meters into this session and we're on the track. Tonight's session was called 10k to eyeballs out. And I've never done it before. We started off with 5 laps of the track at 10k pace. So that's obviously 2k. We then did a 4-minute static recovery. We followed that by 4 by 800 at 5k pace. Between each one of those was a 2-minute static recovery. And at the end of it, we did a 4-minute static recovery, followed by a 1600 meters all out pace. I had a bit of an issue with my left quad and my right hamstring. They were really sore, and the track is really, really icy. There was some concerns about even doing the session, and we were waiting to see what the conditions were like, but they weren't getting any better, and it was just getting colder as the night was going on. So we just went out for it. It was slippy as hell all the way around, so you couldn't really go the pace we wanted to anyway, and it was just a case of being sensible and just get around without getting injured. As I said, my left quad was sore and my right hamstring, so I was just trying to get around, not get injured, and just get the session done really. So I was nowhere near the pace we were meant to be. I think the 10k pace was meant to be like 4:10 a kilometre. I was in the C group again. 4:10 a kilometre for 10k pace used to be around my PB, but it is definitely not these days. Absolutely nowhere near. So the paces were too quick anyway. And I had some concerns about going into the C group or the D group, and I managed to stay with everyone. There was, you'll see throughout the footage, people were all over the place. Really, we weren't really grouped. People were just doing their own thing, but obviously everyone was just concentrating on their footing, I guess. But the group was all over. They were going back and forth, each person running. I think there's about 8 of us in our group, in the C group there. I don't think there was a C minus group, so it was just all C, just jumping in. That's me checking my watch there, because I'd done something wrong with it, with the whole phone camera confusion as well. So I hadn't started my watch. It's a new watch, by the way. I got a Garmin, what is it, a Garmin Epix for Christmas off my wife. Apparently it was in the sale, so picked that up, which is nice because I've needed a new watch for a while actually, and obviously she knew that. So yeah, screwing around my watch. A lot of laps tonight. I think 5 laps for the first one, then 8 laps for the second set, and then 4 laps at the end. So yeah, quite a lot of just running around in circles. But it was a brutal session. I was absolutely knackered, I'm not going to lie. I started off, I felt alright to start with, but then my muscles tied up, started to get a bit tight, and I just didn't want to get injured, kept pushing. I haven't been running a lot lately, obviously with Christmas and family time, and I just haven't been getting the sessions in that I want to. I obviously want to train more and I want to get more done, but just trying to fit everything around my social stuff and trying to spend time with family, and it just hasn't really been happening for us. But hopefully in the new year we can pick it up and do a bit better. So I'll put some more footage on, I'll speed it up and throw some music on with it, just to show the session. I mean, it is literally just me running laps with 4 of the other members. As you can see there's people way out in front, more people coming around. And you'll actually see halfway through the footage, we stepped onto the inside, or I did, stepped onto the inside of the track, because it seemed either lane 2 or the inside on that little bit of concrete there was way more grippier than the first lane. I think the more people ran on the first lane, the slippier it was getting. Obviously, the temperature and the track didn't make the session easy, but if you get a chance of doing it, then I do advise it. It's a brutal session, but it's a really good workout, and I just wish the conditions were a bit better for us, and we could have given it a bit more welly. And this will be my last video for 2025. It's been a bit of a wild ride, but I've made some amazing progress this year. Got in loads of runs, done really well. Mentally as well, physically, just everything seems to be a bit better, considering this time last year I was 3 weeks post-surgery. So enjoy the New Year celebrations, and hopefully 2026 is good to all of us. I get my latest scan results on the 6th of January, So fingers crossed and they come in good and I can stay fit and healthy into 2026 and you all do too. All the best. Thanks very much for watching.